Welcome back, guys. I trust you've been staying safe. We are still on the Mica case, and another version of it is coming up again. It looks like this story has so many versions. Now, this angle of it came out at her memorial service, where her husband, Pastor John Paul Miller, or JP Miller, actually indicated when he was eulogizing her that he visited her body 4 separate times after she had passed, and at a point in time he was even trying to raise her from the dead. Yeah, he was trying to bring her back from the dead. Now, when I read this, I was like, interesting. Is this guy not doing too much? Well, first of all, disclaimer, I am a Christian. So in case you are thinking I'm doubting the Christian faith, please, I'm not. Just that from the very day that I watched the video of Pastor JP Miller announcing to his congregation about the passing of his wife and the manner in which she passed, and also citing that she had a mental illness, I felt that something was off. And my instincts are still giving me that vibe. Looking at what he's saying here, that he tried to raise her up. I don't have a problem with a pastor trying to attempt that. I don't know what he is doing or where he stands with his God. I'm not there. I respect that relationship between pastors and God. I'm not trying to be judging here. All I'm saying is, you don't need to say this to anybody. If it's something that you try to do based on whatever inspiration or whatever calling or whatever anointing you felt was on you or you knew was on you, I think that should stay between you, your God, and your deceased wife. But what is the essence of trying to say all this so people will hear or get to know you actually tried to do it, if you actually even did at all? It begins to give some vibes of you are trying so hard to look sanctimonious and seem like you cared so much about this person, when in actual fact, it seems that there are quite an existential amount of evidence out there seeking to suggest otherwise, although some of them are still allegations. Now, this whole thing is a bit funny, but this is how I'll put it. Personally, I believe that he should have just eulogized her and moved on, especially given the controversy around her passing, the FBI getting involved and all. I don't know what he was seeking to gain by going back to talk about he visited her after she passed this number of times and he tried to raise her up. Someone else would also say that, yeah, maybe he's saying all that because he's grieving. He wants to bring out his pain. He needs people to know what he's going through. And that could be a valid point, actually, because it's been established that people grieve differently. So different people obviously grieve differently. So maybe someone could argue that maybe that is his way of grieving. Now, his speech or his eulogy to his wife, Mica Miller, took 20 minutes. And this was during the 5th of May 2024 memorial service held for Mica Miller. And well, it's interesting. He went on to talk about him making several trips to the morgue in the week after she passed, in the hopes that she would actually wake up. So, I'm quoting him. He says that each time it still didn't hit me. I thought she was going to wake up. I even tried to raise her from the dead one time this week. And I was like, okay, well, interesting days ahead. Obviously, he wasn't able to raise her from the dead. That is obvious because Mica Miller is still not with us. So, obviously, that was not successful. Now, the next question is, what next? In case you are not aware, the FBI has joined this issue, and it seems like they had joined it even prior to Mica Miller's passing, per some reports I'm reading, which indicates that an amount of about 1,200 USD actually got lost or got stolen from the charity that the charity organization that the church runs. their accounts, and Mica Miller allegedly was the suspect. Then the case got closed and all, and then after her passing, some money got paid back then. But I'm beginning to get the vibes of maybe there are other angles to this case that we don't know. I think that although he's a pastor, Mica Miller was a pastor's wife who has unalived herself at her own hands. I think the case has different facets. Mica Miller's self-induced action is one side. Pastor J.P. Miller's questionable actions towards Mica Miller is also another angle of the issue. But then I think that there is another angle that we may not have previously been privy to. That is with regards to the finances around the church's activities, i.e. or specifically their philanthropic aspect, the one from which its account had lost that $1,200, and it looks like the FBI is beginning to look into this pastor, the church, and even his attorney, because I'm suspecting that there is an angle to this. Maybe this is the aspect of the issue that actually drove Mica Miller to do something else, or maybe it was something else about what was going on in her marriage, or something else we are yet to know. But it looks like there are so many angles to this case. Any angle could actually be the root cause of why Mica Miller did what she did to herself. But I'm sitting on the fence because over time, following this case, I've realized that there is more to this than we know. When I started covering it, I mentioned that statement that I have a feeling that this case is going to show other aspects that we are not seeing now. And it looks like that is what is playing out. Sorry. Because with all these things, you see the spiritual shenanigans playing out, him trying to raise his wife from the dead and all. You see the spiritual angle playing out. You see the marital angle playing out. And now you are seeing a financial angle playing out. Now, of these three main angles of this case, where is the problem coming from? Is it coming from one side, both sides, one side, two sides, or all three sides? I have a suspicion that there is more to this. More names are going to come up. Now the attorney is also being questioned. He even came out to give a warning to people who are trying to say certain things or infer certain things about Pastor J.P. Miller and threatening to sue because it seems they are defaming him. But like I said, all these things are playing out in a way that seems to be forming a picture. And I'm sure by the time the picture comes together, we would see what really happened and what didn't happen. We'll see what the true picture is. We can be in a situation where we'll be able to separate the rumors and allegations from the facts. And once the FBI has gotten involved, I think that the picture will become clear very soon. We just have to wait. And for me, I'm waiting, researching, and trust you me, I'm going to inform you on everything that I find. So, Pastor Miller is saying he tried to wake his wife up about 4 times. At a point, he thought she was sleeping and she was going to wake up. And I'm like, she inflicted a GSW on herself. How can she be sleeping from that? You know, you begin to get this vibe that, this is a bit too much. But then again, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a man of God. I don't know what he knows. I would say that in all modesty. I don't know what he knows. I've never been a pastor before. But I feel that just maybe he may be doing a bit too much. I don't know what you think about all this. You can let me know in the comment section. But subscribe if you are yet to do so. Turn on post notifications. Catch you on the next one. Stay safe.